Hello, friends, and welcome to a new episode of the Capitalize Your Best and This Is Going to Hurt podcast. My name is Gordon Duncan, and this was formerly the This Is Going to Hurt podcast with Jay Gordon Duncan. But over the past few weeks, we've launched the Capitalize Your Best podcast. We're now running them concurrently. Well, as you may be able to tell, I don't have my full voice. I've been pretty sick this week, and I'm recording this episode a day after I typically would. And I've got several interviews scheduled. I had to reschedule one this week. I was just too sick to do it. It felt so bad. I've actually rescheduled two now, but I have them both on the books and it'll happen. And so today I want to talk about a topic about measuring progress. We have a tendency to want to see our lives improve and grow. And when we don't see that growth and when we don't see that improvement, we become incredibly discouraged. Now, quite often that's because we're trying to see progress happen too quickly or too easily, meaning that we'd like to see things change without the hard work it's going to take to change, or we would like to see the change happen quickly. And most of the time, that doesn't take. In fact, if we're trying to reverse a circumstance, it usually takes about twice as long to reverse it as it does to get into it. But I can say that what my marathon training has taught me is that typically improvement comes over a long period of time. For example, a marathon training is 16 weeks, and that's six different runs over 16 weeks. And at the very beginning, you won't find the speed or an endurance or anything that you want. But if you keep to the schedule and then daily and daily, and you may not notice it all, and then all of a sudden, a month in, some progress begins to happen. And what I want to give for you is lessons I've learned from those things, but really a pathway towards understanding how we can measure progress in a healthfully way. Now, this entire topic came about because I was doing some reading in the Daily Laws. Um, the Daily Laws is a wonderful book by Robert Greene. If you don't know Robert Greene, his books are just phenomenal. His books on the laws of power, his books on laws of human nature. Those books are massive. They're dense. They're incredible. They're worthwhile. They really. I don't know how he writes them. They look just absolutely immense and incredible. But in the Daily Laws, it takes excerpts from all his books and it creates a 365-day daily reader for you. And one of them from January 25th last month said this: what really allows for such dramatic changes are the things that occur inside a person. The slow accumulation of knowledge and skills, the incremental improvements in work habits, and the ability to withstand criticism. Any change in people's fortunes is merely the visible manifestation of all that deep preparation over time. That's actually from a TED talk that he gave that was included in here. What a great insight. Any change in people's fortunes is merely the visible manifestation of all the deep preparation over time. When we want to see improvement and we want to see change, it's going to happen through daily progress and effort. And when we make an endeavor to change and grow daily, even if we have setbacks, we've built a life of growth that enables us to measure real progress. I'll give you an example from my life. I've been sick for the last 5 days. I rarely get sick, nothing like this at all. Probably the flu, who knows? And I haven't been this sick in about 5 years. And I'm used to making daily progress, right? I read every single day. I'm running every day. I mean, I'm putting together a life of progress, right? It's the way I design things. But this week, I haven't been able to do that. I've been too sick. I've spent 2 days in bed just with fevers. It's not been fun at all, right? And the temptation is for me to think, oh no, I'm going so far backwards. But it's not, because I've built a life of daily progress. It's not perfect, it's imperfect. I make my mistakes, I miss my days, and those kind of things. But when I've been tempted this week to go, oh no, I've lost progress in all my things, I really haven't. Because even in the midst of these sick days, I've still done a few things, but I also know I've built up an accumulation of progress along the way, imperfectly, but progressively. And that's what I want for you, my friend. I want you to be able to measure your progress over the course of time, not in a single day. So take a hard look right now. Ask yourself, are there things you would like to change? Is there something financially you would like to change? Relationally, you would like to change? Physically, you would like to change? Whatever the case may be specific in those things. Clarify what those things are, right? Clarify what you want, and then create a daily plan towards accomplishing those things. And then if you are accomplishing a daily plan towards the accumulation and the progress towards those goals, you're not going to notice things immediately. You're not going to notice things over the short term, but then all of a sudden you're going to look back, and then 6 months later, your life is drastically different. 12 months later, your life is drastically different. I mean, I look at the reality of where we are here owning Capitalized Marketing full time. And in 2020, I retired from full time ministry and walked into a young fledgling business where I had tons of experience, but not tons of clients. And even with what I thought was tons of experience, I can now look and think, oh my gosh, I've learned so much in the last 4.5 years, right? And that's because I've been fortunate enough to have coaches, mentors, and daily plans to improve business wise, marketing wise, education wise, physically, like in all those areas. It's a day to day progression towards trying to get better. And I still have so far to go. So, my encouragement to you, my friends, is if you want to be able to measure your progress, the best way to do that is over the long term. And if you'd like to make progress, the best way to do that is day to day. We're just not going to accomplish the things we want immediately. It's going to take day to day commitment. That 1% better every single day. That's what's the one thing I can do today. And then when you have the ability to make a big leap in a day, do it. When you have the time or you have the opportunity to do something big to move towards your goals, you do it. But in that way, you can be 6 months into something and you're like, wow, I'm making progress. Or you can be years into something and finally see you're making progress. But when we try to look for immediate and short term results for something that typically requires long term effort, we're not going to see it and we're going to be frustrated. So, again, let me read this quote to you one more time from Robert Greene. What really allows for such dramatic changes are the things that occur inside a person: the slow accumulation of knowledge and skills, the incremental improvements in work habits, and the ability to withstand criticism. Any change in people's fortunes is merely the visible manifestation of all that deep preparation over time. Friends, I hope this has been an encouragement to you. It's a bit more of a philosophical episode on my part, less of a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. I hope you've been encouraged by it. Thank you for your patience with my voice. I hope to have more energy and more stamina next week when I talk to you. I also encourage you to check out my personal Facebook page right now. We have a list of 6 events going on in the next 5 weeks, some of which I think are really going to be important and crucial to people. They range in everything from real estate to marketing to personal life transformation. So go check out my personal Facebook page. You're going to see that there's a graphic there that I posted today that on Sunday, I'm afraid I don't even know today's date. Sunday, the 23rd. You'll find it there. And friends, I look forward to talking to you again next week. Thanks so much. See you next week. Bye-bye.